When traveling on a multi-lane roadway with traffic moving in opposite directions, how should drivers use the shared center lane? A. To pass other vehicles. B. To slow down or stop before turning left. C. As a through traffic lane when traffic is moving too slowly. D. As a parking lane. B. To slow down or stop before turning left. The only time a vehicle should enter the center lane is at a point where the vehicle will have time to slow down or stop in order to make a safe left turn maneuver. The center lane should never be used as a passing lane or as a through traffic lane. Railroad crossings should always be considered. A. Safe to cross, as it is unlikely that a train will be coming. B. Dangerous. C. Safe locations to park a car. D. A place where it is required to stop. B. Dangerous. Railroad crossings are always dangerous. Drivers should always look and listen for trains approaching from either direction on all railroad tracks. Always follow the directions indicated by signs, signals, and flaggers. Never proceed past a railroad crossing until you are certain it is safe to do so. This sign means A. One-way traffic. B. Two-way left turn. C. Two-way traffic. D. Minimum speed limit. A. One-way traffic. Regulation signs regulate traffic speed and movement, displaying rules which drivers must obey. This sign tells drivers the direction in which they must drive when turning onto a one-way street. Which of the following lights indicates that you should slow down and proceed with caution at an intersection? A. A flashing yellow light. B. A flashing red light. C. A solid yellow light. D. A solid red light. A. A flashing yellow light. A flashing yellow traffic light at an intersection indicates that drivers must slow down, proceed with caution, and be prepared to stop.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
A stop sign is shaped like A. Rectangle. B. Square. C. Circle. D. Octagon. D. Octagon. An octagonal shape is used only for stop signs. All 8-sided signs tell drivers to come to a complete stop before proceeding. You may not park within. Fill in the blank. Of a crosswalk. A. 20 feet. B. 30 feet. C. 35 feet. D. 45 feet. A. 20 feet. Drivers should not park within 20 feet of a crosswalk. Drivers should only park where it is legal to do so and where other drivers can clearly see their stopped vehicle. A motorist must maintain a safety zone of at least. Fill in the blank. Between their car and a motorcyclist. A. 1 second. B. 2 seconds. C. 3 seconds. D. 4 seconds. C. 3 seconds. A motorist should leave a safety zone of at least 3 seconds between their car and a motorcyclist. The slightest contact between a car and a motorcycle can mean a spill or injury for the rider. Alcohol. A. Slows reflexes and reaction time. B. Puts you to sleep. C. Wakes you up. D. Improves your judgment. A. slows reflexes and reaction time. Alcohol is a depressant drug that slows the activity of the brain and reduces the skills that you need for safe driving. Drinking alcohol results in slowed reaction time and impaired judgment. Unless it is posted otherwise, the speed limit in a residential area is A. 25 miles per hour. B. 20 miles per hour. C. 35 miles per hour. D. 15 miles per hour. A. 25 miles per hour. In a residential area, the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, unless otherwise posted. When you see other drivers around you acting or reacting in anger. A. Don't make eye contact. B. Don't react with hand gestures. C. Distance yourself from the situation. D. All of these. D. All of these. When other drivers are behaving angrily, you should take action to physically and mentally distance yourself from the situation. Avoid making eye contact with them, or making body movements or gestures that could provoke them. Slow down, move over, or do whatever you safely can to put yourself out of danger. The correct way to use a freeway exit ramp is to A. Slow down before entering the exit ramp. B. Slow down once moving onto the exit ramp. C. Keep your speed constant once in the exit ramp. D. Pass slower traffic in the exit ramp. B. Slow down once moving onto the exit ramp. When using a freeway exit ramp, do not slow down until you move onto the exit ramp. This sign means A. Pedestrians only. B. Intersection ahead. C. Hiking trails ahead. D. School crossing ahead. D. School crossing ahead. This sign indicates that a school crossing is ahead. Always signal when A. Changing lanes. B. Pulling into or out of a parking space. C. Pulling into traffic from an alley or parking area. D. All of the above. This sign means A. No U-turn. B. Two-way left turn. C. Minimum speed limit. D. No parking. A. No U-turn. Regulation signs regulate traffic speed and movement, displaying rules which drivers must obey. Wherever this regulation sign is posted, U-turns are not permitted. Which of the following about winter driving is not true? A. Winter is the most difficult driving season. B. Checking your vehicle's antifreeze and windshield washer fluid levels is especially important during the winter. C. Using cruise control in winter weather is a safe thing to do. D. It is best to use snow tires on your vehicle. This sign means A. T intersection. B. Lane shifting. C. Side road. D. Do not block intersection. A. T intersection. Warning signs prepare drivers for upcoming road conditions and hazards and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns drivers that they are approaching a T intersection and should prepare to turn either right or left. This sign means A. Two-way traffic. B. Lane shifting. C. Low clearance. D. Added lane. A. Two-way traffic. Warning signs prepare drivers for upcoming road conditions and hazards and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign tells drivers that they may encounter traffic coming from the opposite direction. This sign means A. Trucks only. B. Trucks are entering the highway. C. Upcoming hill. D. Trucks have the right of way. Drinking coffee after drinking alcohol. A. Decreases blood alcohol concentration. B. Cancels the effect of the alcohol. C. Has no effect on blood alcohol concentration. D. Increases blood alcohol concentration. C. Has no effect on blood alcohol concentration. Drinking coffee will not reduce your blood alcohol concentration, BAC. While it may help you to stay awake, it cannot change your BAC or make you sober. This sign means A. Trucks under 18,000 pounds. Allowed. B. Hill ahead. C. Truck stop ahead. D. No trucks allowed. B. Hill ahead. This sign warns that there is a steep hill ahead. Work zone signs mean A. It is summer. B. You must immediately stop and back up. C. Less than ideal conditions are present for driving. D. You should drive faster to get out of the work zone. C. Less than ideal conditions are present for driving. Work zone signs are orange and indicate that some type of work is being performed on or alongside the roadway. Be extremely careful when you see these signs. You may turn right on red. A. When there is a sign prohibiting turning right on red. B. Before pedestrians have crossed any intersecting crosswalks. C. Before coming to a complete stop. D. After coming to a complete stop and yielding to pedestrians and vehicles in the intersection. D. After coming to a complete stop and yielding to pedestrians and vehicles in the intersection. If you are turning right, you may turn on a red light after coming to a full stop. You may only turn if it is safe to do so and if there is no sign prohibiting the turn on a red light. Be careful of pedestrians crossing in front of your vehicle. A diamond-shaped sign is a A. Road hazard sign. B. Interstate route sign. C. School crossing sign. D. Speed limit sign. A. Road hazard sign. Warning signs are normally diamond-shaped and yellow, although orange warning signs are used in work areas. Such signs warn that you are approaching a hazardous location or an area where special rules apply. This sign means A. School ahead. B. School crossing. C. Pedestrian crossing. D. Construction workers on or near the roadway. This sign means A. Stop. B. No U-turn. C. Yield. D. Do not enter. D. Do not enter. This sign is placed at the beginning of one-way streets and ramps to indicate that you must not continue driving in your current direction. If you are approaching a school bus that has stopped to drop off children on a 4-lane highway, you must come to a complete stop only if A. You are traveling in the same direction as the bus. B. You can see children trying to cross the street. C. You are driving on the opposite side of the highway. D. The bus driver waves you ahead. A. You are traveling in the same direction as the bus. If a school bus has stopped to drop off children on a roadway with 4 or more traffic lanes, only drivers on the same side of the roadway must come to a complete stop. Be especially cautious when driving near children. This sign means A. No U-turn. B. No left turn. C. No right turn. D. No turning. C. No right turn. This sign indicates that right turns are prohibited. Do not make a right turn at an intersection where this sign is posted. This sign means A. Curve ahead. B. Roadwork ahead. C. Merging traffic. D. No left turn. A. Curve ahead. Warning signs prepare drivers for upcoming road conditions and hazards and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign alerts drivers to an upcoming curve in the road. This sign means A. Stop. B. Side road. C. Two-way left turn. D. Farm machinery. A. Stop. 8-sided traffic signs warn drivers that they must stop and yield the appropriate right-of-way at an intersection. Drivers may proceed when it is safe to do so. What should you be most concerned about when you see this sign? A. Driving with your headlights out of alignment because one side of your car is higher than the other. B. Damaging a tire from drifting onto the shoulder. C. Hydroplaning, if the shoulder has water on it. D. Losing control of the vehicle if you drift onto the shoulder. D. Losing control of the vehicle if you drift onto the shoulder. This sign indicates that the shoulder is lower than the road in the area ahead. If you drift off of the roadway and one wheel drops onto a low shoulder, do not slam on the brakes or steer sharply to try to get back onto the roadway. This could easily cause you to lose control of your vehicle. When is a driver permitted to turn right on a red traffic signal? A. When the driver has stopped and verified that the turn will not interfere with crossing traffic. B. When signs are clearly posted to allow a right turn on red. C. Only at the direction of a police officer. D. After first slowing and verifying the turn will not interfere with other traffic and pedestrians. A no stopping sign means that, unless directed to do so by a police officer, you may stop only. A. Long enough to unload packages. B. To avoid conflict with other traffic. C. To discharge passengers. D. For less than 5 minutes. B. To avoid conflict with other traffic. A no stopping sign means you can only stop to obey a traffic signal, to obey a police officer, or to prevent a conflict with another vehicle. Motorcycles are entitled to A. The bicycle lane. B. The same full lane width as other motor vehicles. C. Half the width of a lane. D. The width of the sidewalk. B. The same full lane width as other motor vehicles. Lane usage for the motorcyclist is critical. Motorcycles are entitled to the same full lane width as all other vehicles. This sign means A. U-turns are prohibited. B. U-turns are permitted. C. Winding road ahead. D. Sharp left turn ahead. A. U-turns are prohibited. A regulatory sign displaying a red circle with a red slash through the middle indicates that a specific action is prohibited. U-turns are not permitted where this sign is posted. When is street racing acceptable? A. During the night. B. During periods of low traffic. C. In clear weather. D. Never. D. Never. Street racing, also known as drag racing, is illegal and can result in serious injuries or fatalities. Illegal street racers put other drivers at risk because races are typically held on public roads. Due to the high speeds, drivers are unable to react to common road hazards or other driving situations, which often results in crashes. This sign means A. Continue at your current speed. B. You must stop ahead. C. Speeding is not allowed. D. There is a traffic signal ahead. D. There is a traffic signal ahead. This sign indicates that there is a traffic signal ahead. When you see this black and yellow sign, it means A. The road to the right is for one-way traffic only. B. That due to upcoming roadwork, there is a detour to the right. C. Slow down because the road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle. D. There is a crossroad to your right. C. Slow down because the road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle. This sign indicates that the road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle, in this case, to the right. Before you reach such an extreme curve, you should slow down as much as you would when making a turn at an intersection. This sign means A. Keep right. B. Low shoulder. C. No parking at any time. D. Lane ends. A. Keep right. Regulation signs regulate traffic speed and movement, displaying rules which drivers must obey. This regulation sign indicates that drivers should keep right to avoid an upcoming potential driving hazard. You need to use extra caution when driving near a pedestrian using a white cane because A. He or she is deaf. B. He or she is a police officer. C. He or she is blind. D. He or she has poor balance. C. He or she is blind. When driving near a blind pedestrian who is carrying a white cane or walking with a guide dog, you must slow down, yield the right of way, and then proceed with caution. Be prepared to stop your vehicle in order to prevent injury or danger to the pedestrian. This green arrow on a lane use control signal means A. You may use this lane. B. No traffic is allowed in this lane. C. You have the right of way. D. You must merge into this lane. A. You may use this lane. A steady downward green arrow over a traffic lane means you may use the lane indicated.